number of people losing their homes has risen sharply. More than 11,000 homes were repossessed over the summer, and that figure is expected to get much higher by the end of the year as more and more people struggle to pay their mortgages. Today, the government said they'll do everything possible to make sure repossession is always a last resort. Well, Richard Scott is here with more. Richard.
Thanks, Sophie. Well, bigger bills, more expensive mortgages and job cuts all seem to be taking their toll on borrowers. Over the summer, 11,300 homes were repossessed. Now that's a rise of 12% on the previous 3 months. There aren't comparable figures for last year, but it's likely to be around a 70% rise over the 12 months. And the industry is predicting an even bigger increase in the last 3 months of the year. One person who's in danger of being repossessed is Nicola. She was too embarrassed to be identified and bought her house last year with a mortgage from a subprime lender. She's had trouble meeting the payments and is now £3,000 in arrears.
We're sort of caught in a vicious circle because the less money you've got, the less favourable interest rates you get, which makes it even harder then to sustain your payments, which means we're in arrears with everything. You know, we can't afford to eat some weeks. You know, we're just at rock bottom.
Nicola is hoping to take advantage of a government scheme aimed at helping people stay in their home, and more help could be unveiled next week in the pre-budget report. The industry denies lenders are too quick to repossess.
Well, I think it's not in lenders' interest to take possession. In fact, in the vast majority of cases they do take possession, they lose money. The key thing for them is if they're matched by the determination of their customers stay in their homes, if they talk regularly about what the situation is, if there are regular payments going into the mortgage account so arrears aren't building up too fast. There are a whole range of measures that lenders can take, and of course customers need to help themselves by that dialogue.
Now, one particular area of concern is the buy-to-let sector. Between April and June this year, 1.1% of buy-to-let properties were in arrears. That's lower than the average for all mortgages of 1.3%. But the latest figures show a big jump in buy-to-let arrears. Now, 1.6% of them are in trouble, well above the market average. That suggests the repossession situation is going to get much worse for landlords. Sophie.
Richard, thank you very much. Well, our economics editor Hugh Pym joins me now. So repossessions have jumped significantly, but they look set to jump a lot further.
Yes, Sophie, the Council for Mortgage Lenders are saying it'll hit 45,000 for this year, the total, compared with 30,000 last year, and the long-run average is around about 20,000, so considerably above that. We are still likely to be quite a long way short, though, of the total reached in the 1990s housing market slump, 75,000 in 1 year. But unemployment just in the last few months has only really just started going up really quite rapidly. If that feeds through next year, we're looking at unemployment going up from about 1.8 million to 2 and then nearer 3. I think you're going to find a lot more people in distress and facing repossession.
Now, Monday is a big day. We have the government's pre-budget report. They are going to set out what they will do. What can they do to help people?
Well, as Richard said there, one measure might be more help for families facing repossession, maybe some sort of moratorium allowing them a bit more time to stay in their homes while something is sorted out. The aim of the Chancellor is to pump money into the economy as it faces a recession and a downturn, quite probably with tax cuts for the lower paid to try to get people spending again. But his dilemma is he's already borrowing an awful lot of money. He's going to have to borrow even more to pay for those measures. He's got to persuade the markets, as well as the House of Commons, that he can get the money back, which means tax rises in the longer run.
Thank you very much. Well, despite the financial difficulties many people are facing, it's been announced today that train fares will rise sharply in the